everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I am a fourth year foundation based student, and today we will be talking about how to teach phonics and demonstrating a phonics lesson. I'd also just like to make a quick disclaimer. I'm not a qualified teacher. I'm doing these demonstration lessons to refresh my memory and yours before we go out to practical. So as always, you are going to start off with a game or a poem or a song about the letter, or a story, a very short story about the letter. What I did was to introduce revision and to kind of let the learners know what we will be doing. I hid these all around the classroom, and then they would go pick one up, and then as they pick it up they would just like tell me what letter is on the suite. It was just like a fun little introduction to starting the lesson. Then you're going to move straight into an auditory exercise where you are going to say a few words with the letter that you are discussing. So for example, if we are doing the letter B, you'll say bed, book. Now I can't think of any other B words, but you get the point. And then you'll ask them, well, what letter do you hear the most? And then they should be saying the letter B or B, because obviously foundation phase. Then you're going to do visual, and you'll be using something like this. It's an A4 piece of paper that I've just printed and laminated. I put a nice border on it to make it look nice, and basically you put the letter and a word that starts with this letter, and then you just say, oh, what letter do you see? And then you say, what letter does this word start with? And that's just a quick and easy visual thing. So all of these little pieces in the beginning basically make up the time. Firstly, it's not the beginning of your lesson. You don't classify it as the introduction, but these little pieces only last about 3 minutes, and that's really pushing it. It really needs to be quick and efficient. Then you're going to practice visual discrimination, and what you're going to do is you're going to set up a table like this, or this is just how I did mine, and basically you put the letter B in all of these so that they know what they're looking for, and then here you put lots of other different letters and the letter B's, and you ask them, is this the letter B? No, what letter is it? And then they tell you, and then you move on to the next one. So this one is going to take a little bit more time, but really try and focus on this and try to use words that start with a D, because those are letters that they do get confused. Not to catch them out, just to kind of show them that there is a difference. And then every time there is a letter B, you can ask them to clap. And as they clap, then you know to circle the letter. It becomes like a little game. And the same with all of these. So you're going to do letter, words, and then a sentence. Then, very important, you're going to do verbal formation. Now, I know during COVID, this is a little bit difficult, and it's like, oh, my mask or whatever. If you are standing a meter away from all of them, you make sure all of them are wearing their masks, and you take your mask off, and you say, look at my lips. Look how my lips are forming when I say b, b. Then they can see how your lips form. Then you can ask maybe one or two of them to stand up really far away from each other, pull your mask down, show me how you say it. And then that is your verbal formation. Now this way it gets really fun. You are going to start introducing how to form the letter formation. And what you're going to do when you have your handy dandy robot letters, you're going to take the letter B out, you're going to put it on the board, and you're going to show them. And then from there, you are going to make sure that they lift their finger in the sky, and you're going to do it with them. You're going to show. Then you can come up with a little poem or whatever that they can remember to say, okay, down, up, and round, like something like that, just like, but more exciting than that. I just can't think of anything right at this very second. Then straight over from there, you are going to do a tactile activity, which means you are either going to just, the easiest way to do this without having to bring a whole bunch of extra stuff, and remember, you're sitting probably with 30 to 45 learners in your class. What you're going to do, if they have a book on the table, you're going to tell them to move it out the way, and you're going to say, take your finger, and now we are going to write the letter B on the table, and you're going to do that a few times so that they can feel a different texture, so that they can feel that motion. Then you are going to do something that is kinesthetic. Now this is a bit different, and this one you might have to do with the learners who you can see are struggling, because unfortunately you aren't going to allow everyone to do it. It just takes too long. But what you can do is you can get a bucket of salt and a thin layer of salt, and let them come draw write in the salt. You can do sprinkles, you can do kinetic sand, or anything that they are moving their body. You can even have a huge letter B where they can come walk around, if that makes sense, that they can walk on the letter in the way that it is formed, so they can feel it with their whole body. And the reason we do all of these things is because you really you want it to be molded in their brain. You want them to remember the letter B at the end of the day. So really try and, like, not drill it into the head, but like drill it into the head. But make sure that they are still getting the core concept and that they understand that certain words start with the letter B, how it sounds, etc. Then, lastly, to really make sure that they really understand it, you are going to get a bunch of pictures, but pictures that start with different letters, and then obviously a few pictures that start with the letter B. You stick them all on the board, or you can even do it like on a A3 again, laminated, and then just circle them with a whiteboard marker. But basically, you do different pictures, and then every time they see a picture that starts with the letter B, they clap or whatever it is that you want them to do, and then you circle the picture as well. You can even call on certain learners to help you if you really want to, but that's totally up to you. And then lastly, you are going to do a little worksheet. You are pretty much always going to have an A3 version of the worksheet so that you can work through it with them before they actually do it. So obviously they're going to write the name, the date, and then there's just a little good luck thingy. This is what I mean by the pictures. This is pretty much the last exercise that you are going to do. Your worksheets don't have to look like this. They can really be anything else that is going to be an activity about the letter B. This is just what I chose to do. And basically, okay, then you explain to them, now we are going to circle all the letters, all the pictures that start with the letter B. And it's like, you're going to go through it. Okay, book, and then they're going to circle that, and then they're going to go through all of that. And then the very last piece is a bit more challenging but very important. They have to go look at all the words, and all the words with the letter B, even the words that are not starting with the letter B. If it's in the middle of the word, they still have to circle it. So just maybe 2 or 3 sentences in this paragraph, and then they just circle it. And then it's also important to point out that there are also capital letters, and this is how the capital letter B looks. You just gradually bring that in. It's not something that you really go sit and teach like we would do this phonics lesson. You don't do that with capital letters. It is just something that you start to teach, or that's how I understand it. Anyway, that's the end of today's demonstration. I really hope this was helpful. I really hope it refreshed your mind on how to do it. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your teacher besties. And leave me a comment if you have any tips and tricks about doing phonics lessons. I really appreciate it. The rest of the community really appreciates it. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!